What's good, y'all? What's good? Hope you guys are having a good day. Today, I wanted to come on here and not play a video game. I wanted to have a really interesting and quick conversation about the more recent Pokemon controversy that's been going on, especially on Twitter for a while now. And I guess the last couple of years in the community. And I just wanted to give my side of things, just have a conversation. If you disagree with it in the comment section, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe, all that extra good stuff. We do Pokemon content over here. Primarily ROM hacks and fan games, but you know, new games as well when they come out. But let's get into it, dude. So I want to say since Sword and Shield, they have been forcing the experience share onto everybody, and I think it was Pokemon Let's Go where it started. I think, do not quote me on that, I think. And now with the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl news, it's confirmed that the experience share is back, but it's being forced onto us. You don't have a choice. And a lot of people are really mad about that, which I kind of don't get a little bit. But let me give some context as to why I don't get it, and then we can have the conversation in the modern times, right? Back when Generation 1 was around, we only ever had the original 151, and the experience share wasn't even in the game until Generation 2. In Generation 2, we literally had only a couple of extra Pokemon in the game. And it's very interesting that the experience share was introduced in Gen 2, despite the level curve being a lot all over the place in Johto. It didn't make a lot of sense to have an experience share, but you know, it is what it is, fine. And Generation 3 had a mostly new Pokedex, so it made sense that the experience share was really good and really useful. That way you can like grind up multiple Generation 3 Pokemon, especially since we rarely ever saw a Generation 1 or 2 Pokemon that wasn't trash. So having a wide variety of options to choose from with the experience share helps it a lot, right? Plus, by the time you get to the Elite Four, these guys are pushing their 55s, 58s, level 60, and now you're kind of just sitting there like, damn, I have to hurry up and get my entire team up, especially with how well paced Generation 3 is. It's really good pacing for the experience share. The level curve is there. It's just there. It works. And I'm gonna assume we all agree that Generation 4 and Generation 5 are another good examples of the experience share being good. And in Generation 6, the experience share was optional, but it was default on. And I'm pretty sure in Generation 7 it was too, but don't quote me. I don't remember like Sun and Moon like that. I'm trying to think. Nah, I don't think it was. I think it was optional. Yeah, okay. Now these are all instances where the Pokemon experience share was optional, right? And I think in Sword and Shield, they changed the formula of the experience share to essentially be forced upon you to help better the experience. And there's a humongous difference between Sword and Shield and the last couple games, or all the games before it, that I think a lot of people are starting to like forget a little bit. I think the humongous difference between Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh versus Galar is the time periods they came out in. Sword and Shield literally has access to, I forgot if it's like 600, 700 Pokemon. There are 700 to 800 Pokemon in Sword and Shield, I think. There are about maybe 1,000 Pokemon in total now at this point. And we really just got over the Pokedex phase, which thank God that's over, I think. I don't know if it's still going on. If it is, it's a small minority, who cares, right? But I think the amount of Pokemon available in these games actually matter a lot. I realized that since Sun and Moon, Pokemon has went into a more RPG-esque style of gameplay versus the normal monster taming aspect of the games. Like if you look around, all recent JRPGs have forced experience shares on, but they don't even have experience shares. They just have everybody that you played with gets experience now. Everybody on the team gets experience. Everybody that you have on your party gets experience now. Like that's a normal JRPG standard that's been going on for the last decade now, right? And Pokemon just caught on. And it's very funny because a lot of monster catching, monster taming games didn't start doing the experience share or the whole party gets the experience thing until recently themselves. Now Pokemon is different because Pokemon, like I said, has 1,000 monsters to choose from, whereas these knockoff Pokemon clones have essentially 100, maybe like, you know, 150, 200, 300, and you're able to like do what you can. But the times are here now, and the experience gain is welcome in the JRPG world. Pokemon is a monster taming Japanese RPG, right? And in Sword and Shield, they've made it so easy to literally grind your Pokemon up. Go from an egg, you can change the natures, you can change the IVs, you can grind up EVs, you can level them up with the candy. And with the introduction of the candy, the experience share is kind of just for playthrough purposes only, right? At this point. And it's not like the level curves doesn't make any sense, because since X and Y, all of the gym leader, or not even the gym leader, the Elite Four battles have been pushing like their 60s, mid 60s to like late 60s anyway. Like if I remember correctly, wasn't Diantha's ace like 66, 67, something like that? The Elite Four recently are not to play with, despite you obviously being a Pokemon veteran. You know your type matchups, you know everything, so of course Pokemon is easier for you. But for the most part, when it comes to the level curve, which is what the experience share was for, you were pretty much on par with the gym leaders all the time. And I see so many people saying, oh, I should have the option to turn it off because it makes the game more difficult. And I'm sorry to say this, but just because you want to stunt your experience does not equate to difficulty. There are different types of games that do difficulty better, and you stunning your growth, especially for a monster taming 6v6 style game, it doesn't do what you think it's doing. Trust me. You know what makes the game harder? Better AI. There you go. Better AI, right? Or giving the opponent max IVs and max EVs on their teams, especially the Elite Four or the champion, makes a lot of sense, right? But you having the option to turn off the experience share and then basically stunning your growth by a couple of levels, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be like maybe 4 or 5 levels behind wherever you are, when you're still gonna want to grind anyway, doesn't make the game hard at all. It actually makes it a lot more tedious and monotonous. It doesn't help anything. Now, whether or not you think that the games have been doing the best of jobs, you can tell that Game Freak has been in a more story slash RPG way in their games since, I want to say, X and Y and or Sun and Moon. They put a lot more emphasis on story, characters, everything else minus the gameplay. You get your gimmick and that's it. But that's not to say they've ignored the gameplay aspect. They literally nerfed a Pokemon. Do we not remember what happened to Aegislash? Aegislash got nerfed. That was the first time that's ever happened. But back to the topic of the experience share, I've noticed that it's a lot of people who are older that don't like the fact that they can't turn it off. And it always confused me, because in my mind, I always thought to myself, why do you want to spend more time grinding when you as an adult have responsibilities to do? I get it, you know, you play video games in your free time, but why would you want to waste your free time grinding and not have progression? Games are not even the same anymore when it comes to that aspect. A lot of quality of life changes have come from not only Pokemon, but in gaming as a whole. They've made it easier for you to get progress done. Instead of grinding levels, why aren't you grinding your EVs and your IVs? You see what I'm saying? You're focused on the wrong things. There's a reason why when emulation was going on, pretty much everybody and their mom was always looking up infinite rare candy codes, or infinite or how to get rare candies, or rare candy locations. Rare candies are actually a buzzword in Pokemon, and you might be wondering why. It's because nobody wanted to grind. I don't want to hear it makes the game easier from the same people that bought action replays and or Game Sharks just to cheat their games so they can get rare candies. Make it make sense, y'all. Whereas now in 2021, they're literally giving you the experience share, they're giving you the experience candies, they're giving you the rare candies, they're giving you the experience that you want, so that way you can play the game. And let's be honest here, Pokemon's combat is not the most in-depth either. Like, if you know your type matchups, you pretty much know how to play Pokemon. The game is not hard and never will be hard unless they introduce a new typing and or introduce a new AI system and or give their AIs better EVs, better IV spreads, and all that extra good stuff during casual playthroughs. The difficulty aspect is more in the competitive aspect if you think about it, because have you seen VGC? They have to build their Pokemon a certain way for them to be useful in a competitive tournament style. Even in Smogon rules, right? There's certain spreads you need to have done, otherwise your mon is trash. That's where the real hard part comes from. But you going through the game, just playing the game, doesn't do anything anymore. It's Pokemon. As long as you know your type matchups, it will never be hard. And the experience share just makes it easier on everybody else, because guess what? guess what? We're all adults here and the kids love it too. Now, I will say this, in regards to the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, it does make a lot of sense that a lot of people are mad that you can't turn it off, only because they're not adding any new Pokemon to these games, and they're not adding anything crazy to these games that are gonna break the game anyway, right? Why are you giving us just Sinnoh if we've all played through Sinnoh, and the biggest complaint about Sinnoh was the fact that it was slow? Now you're giving us this modernized version with like less than like who knows however many Pokemon, 600 Mons probably. They're probably gonna cap it at 300 like they did Sword and Shield. I mean Sun and Moon, who knows? But like, you know, what's going on? What are you doing right now, right? If I'm gonna have access to these small amounts of Mon, it shouldn't matter how much experience I get. But at the same time, these games I think are pretty much just placeholders for Legends Arceus in the first place, which is why they outsourced the development to somebody else. That's what I think personally. These people do not care about these Diamond and Pearl remakes because they care more about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus does not have an online. It's a single player Pokemon experience. You probably won't get Generation 9 up until maybe November anyway. So like, who at this point, it doesn't matter. The experience share in 2021 to 2022, unless we get it in Gen 9, does not matter. Legends Arceus and Legends Arceus and Diamond and Pearl remakes do not matter that they have the experience share or not. Why? Because guess what? These games are not Generation 9 games. They're Generation 8 games, and I guess a spin-off title if you want to count bringing Diamond, Sun, and Pearl. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, back to the topic, literally, I do not see the reason why so many people are up in arms about forced experience share in a game that is not difficult. That's it. Make sure you leave a like, comment, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll talk to y'all later in the next one. Bye. Love you guys.